These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. When it comes to online college, Southern New Hampshire University is so good, it's scary. Listen, the facts don't lie. SNHU has degree programs that fit your goals, online classes that fit your life, and real support at every step. And if that wasn't enough, they've got some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. This is an airtight case, you guys. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to get started. That's snhu.edu/morbid. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Elena.
And I'm Ash.
And this is Morbid.
Afternoon.
I am sick.
Me too.
So I apologize.
Same.
For my voice.
Elena got sick, and then I got sick, and then I mutated whatever she gave me and gave it back to her.
We're in this weird cycle that I don't love, that I'm going to stop immediately.
I'm worried, though, because school is starting again.
Yep.
So
get ready.
We're just going to be sick all the time.
But then...
No, we're not. I'm not manifesting that. What the fuck?
I was going to say, we're not going to be sick all the time.
That was the worst manifesting ever.
No one's getting sick.
Ever.
This is it. This summer cold. Summer sucks. So I have a summer cold.
Summer does suck.
I'm ready for summer to be done.
Fuck summer.
Done with summer.
We're getting like a heat wave next week, didn't you say, though?
That's what John told me, but...
Tell John to stop giving you bad news.
I know. Don't give me bad news.
Don't give me bad news of heat waves.
Don't do it.
In the September time.
September time.
In the September time.
That's a TikTok that we should share. Zachariah.
Yes.
We were using the Zachariah voice.
Zachariah voice.
Go follow Zachariah.
I think everyone already follows Zachariah, but if you don't,
this is not new. We've been following him for like a billion years, but
Zachariah forever.
Go follow him on TikTok.
Remember when he used to just go to like Savers or like whatever and buy
random shit,
like defunct like cooking product things?
Yes.
And then he would make them work. Yeah, he was good at that. Recently, did you see that episode where he made, it was like a meatloaf cupcake with like mashed potato frosting?
No, that sounds horrifying.
It was moderately upsetting, but then I said, I'm not opposed to trying that.
He said, maybe.
I like meatloaf. I like mashed potatoes.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I don't know about cupcake form, but
you know, we're all in this together. Eating meat cupcakes
together.
You know,
eating meat cupcakes. I don't know.
You know what, guys? This is really fucking random, but I really want you to go listen to the rewatcher. So I just thought about it and thought, if you have watched Buffy, By the way, you're really missing out if you're not listening to the rewatcher.
And if you haven't watched Buffy, it's a great time to start the rewatcher because I had never seen Buffy before except like a couple fucking episodes.
I just really wanted to throw that in there because we just recorded an episode and it's so fun.
Oh,
I just thought you guys would love it.
So I love it so much.
Go check it out if you haven't checked it out yet.
Check it out.
We talk lots of shit about lots of people.
On Buffy.
Yeah.
Yay. All right. Well, yeah. Let's get into morbid because that's the time and place that we're at right now in the temporal fold. Is that what that is?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Is it a temporal fold?
I mean, that was in Buffy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a love triangle this week.
Oh, boy.
And it all starts off with some jackass named Buddy.
It always starts off with some jackass named Buddy.
Really his name was Harold, but they called him Buddy. I don't really know why.
Those are always my favorite. When the nickname has literally nothing to fucking do with the original name and somehow it's exactly as long or longer sometimes than the original name.
Yeah, you're saving one letter there. Harold, Buddy. That takes you the exact same amount of time to say. Well, either way. Harold Buddy Jacobson, he was born on December 10th, 1930 in Brooklyn, New York.
The 30s.
The 30s, yeah. It wasn't a great time
I was going to say, not a great time.
And especially in New York. To Florence and Joseph, also known as Sam Jacobson. I don't know if that was just like his middle name.
You know what? His name is Joseph. Let's call him Sam.
Yeah, I don't know. But Buddy was the youngest of their two kids. He had an older sister. And by most accounts, his early life was pretty unremarkable. It was the beginning of the Great Depression, like I just said, and like most families living through that, the Jacobsons struggled to get by on a very modest income, which was made even more modest by Sam Jacobson's fucking gambling ways.
Oh, no. Come on. It's the Great Depression.
Like, what are you even gambling for at that point?
That's the thing. What are you using to gamble?
What are you using to gamble? What does anyone have to give you? Like, I don't understand.
It's just not a good idea.
It does not compute. Now, when Buddy was about 10 years old, his father left the family to live with his mistress. And this asshole not only left his family to go move in with his mistress, but they moved in a few doors down from his wife and kids.
That's unsettling.
Like, talk about tension.
You got to be a real gross couple of humans to do that.
You're a real fucked up individual.
Yeah, you're real gross. You know what? I have an insult generator up here somewhere.
Oh, you still have that up?
I keep it up.
Queen shit.
I keep it up. So
I keep it up for when I need it.
What a pompous taint hound that guy is.
I don't like that one at all. A pompous taint hound. I don't know about that.
Sounds
pompous
right.
for sure.
Sounds correct.
Yeah. Well, so it was very tension filled. I'm just moving on right along from that.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. So to escape the stressful home
I'm
life.
on cold medicine, everybody.
Are you?
I sure am.
I haven't taken any because I don't react well to that and it makes my dreams all weird.
I react great to it, apparently.
I don't know about that. Some might argue different.
I don't know about that.
You sure about that? You sure about that? Why are we just TikTok? But okay, so it's stressful because, Buddy's dad just moved in with his new mommy down the door, so that's not good. But to escape from that, Buddy spent most of his time playing in the street with the neighborhood kids. And this was where he developed a very, very fierce competitive streak. I'm sure you can relate. That he would carry with him for the rest of his life. Yours is like a normal competitive streak for the most part. His takes yours and sends it to the moon, Alice.
Oh, no. Well, now I feel competitive, that his competitive streak is better than mine.
Oh, my God. I should have saw that coming. So according to one childhood friend, Buddy was unstoppable. They said Buddy was the yo-yo champ. He was the handball champ. He was the ping pong champ.
Okay.
That's what they said is.
All right.
He was a fucking champ.
I don't know. He didn't meet me. Okay.
Well, other than his competitive streak, something else that stuck with Buddy for most of his life going forward, obviously, was his father's abandonment of his family. That shit sticks with you.
Yeah, I imagine it would.
Yeah, firsthand experience right here. Now, as a teenager, he would tell very elaborate lies about his family and like where his family came from. He would tell his friends and his peers that he was Italian rather than Jewish. He actually was Jewish. And that he had been actually adopted by the Jacobsons as a baby. And that his real father, his quote-unquote gangster father, had perished in a gory shootout with the law.
I mean, that's a story.
I mean, who wouldn't tell that story?
I'm going to tell that story from now on.
Tell that story.
Yeah, I will.
Now, only his most intimate friends actually knew the truth about where Buddy really came from, and they only knew it because it came out if he was very emotional or if his friends pried the truth out of him after quite a few drinks together. And that's usually when the truth comes out.
Truth.
So even though he'd probably rather not acknowledge his past, it was Buddy's family history that actually led him to the horse track, which is where much of this beginning... Oh, I forgot to mention, this is going to be 2 parts. Yeah.
Oh.
Two-parter. But the first part of this, we're going to talk a lot about the horse track. Oh. Because when he was just 11 years old, Buddy began working for his uncle, Gene Jacobs, which it's funny that his uncle's last name is Jacobs and his is Jacobson. And it makes me wonder if like it got shortened, but then some people didn't recognize the shortened version of it.
Perhaps.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I smell what you're stepping
Talking about Ellis Island and all that shit?
Yeah, you're talking about the infamous Ellis Island.
That one. Yeah, I don't know. But his uncle, Gene Jacobson, he started working for him. And his job was basically walking the exercised horses, which were referred to as hots. Oh. Because they were like, oh, they're hot from the exercise.
The hots.
That's my guess. So he would walk them back to the stables. He would clean out the stalls and just do like all the low stakes tasks that needed to be done. Now, after a while, Buddy actually saw more of a future in horses than he did in high school. So he ended up quitting school and he followed his uncle to Florida, where he kept working as a stable boy for $25 a week, which was, or in today's calculations, it would be a little more than $300 a week.
Oh.
So for high school, that's a pretty decent job.
That's really good.
Yeah. And he worked his way up the ladder pretty quickly, and soon he became foreman of the stables, which is a big fucking deal when it comes to horses.
The boss.
Yeah. Now, by 1952, he received his assistant trainer's license, and getting that license actually allowed him to break away from his uncle's business and strike out on his own in the horse business. Now, for the Jacobs and Jacobson families, who had always been really close, Buddy's determination to rise quickly in the profession wasn't really a surprise. His Uncle Gene said, I put him on when I didn't need him, and he just made himself needed. He was a very hard worker, very devoted to the job.
Look at him.
So he spoke his praises. So not long after gaining his license, Buddy started training 2 horses that his sister Rita owned. And once they were ready, he brought them to the races. He was off to the races, like Lana.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he brought them to the races in New York, and he won with them.
Look at him.
So obviously he's pretty encouraged now. So he took those horses to the more competitive tracks in Florida.
Oh, that's where you go.
Yeah, always go to Florida.
Never.
Buddy was a Florida man. Buddy was a Florida man.
Oh, no.
Yeah, honestly.
That's not good.
And when he took them to Florida, they did great there. He continued his streak of wins. So more and more wins start stacking up for Buddy. And soon he had made a pretty good name for himself as a horse trainer. He was signing contracts with new clients to train their horses. And more importantly, while the wins helped to build a reputation, they also included a percentage of the purse, which was the cash prize awarded to the winning horse and the jockey. So that placed him in a higher tax bracket. And it gave him a solidly upper middle class lifestyle.
Look at Buddy.
He was living that swanky life.
Oh, man.
So in the mid-1950s, he actually ended up meeting and marrying a woman named Joan Miller. And pretty soon after they got married, they welcomed a son together, David. That would be Buddy's only child. And this new life that Buddy was living was a pretty far cry from how he'd grown up and from what he was used to.
Yeah.
In some good ways, and then, in his opinion, not in so many great ways.
Uh-oh.
Because maybe some of this family life wasn't really for him. Yeah. He wasn't super interested in, that domestic lifestyle, wasn't that interested in being a husband or really a dad.
Oh, you know what? Those are 2 things that you should have interest in if you become a husband and a dad.
Yeah, that's what most people say.
Those are the 2 key things.
It's in the handbook.
Yeah.
Getting paid twice a month doesn't mean money is scarce. It just feels that way. That feeling makes you do weird stuff, like putting things on a card you didn't need to. Earnin removes that feeling. With Earnin, you can access up to $150 per day of money you've already earned, plus up to $1,000 between paychecks. Standard transfers take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees, and expedited transfers start at $3.99 and cap at $5.99. 5 million people are already on it, and honestly, it's wild it didn't exist sooner. Download Earnin on the App Store or Google Play, spelled like earning money without the G. Type in Morbid under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show.
Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. But Buddy, he just really wanted to be the best. Not the best father or the best husband, but just the best overall.
Yeah, don't worry about those two things.
No. So
You
he
can
found
slack in that.
No, don't worry about that. So he found home life really stifling. Now, stability and harmony at home might have made him feel disconnected, I guess, when it came to his family life. But those were the two main things that drove him professionally, interestingly enough. In 1958, he ended up getting hired by a Wall Street trader named Bill Frankel to train a horse that Bill had recently bought. And Buddy wasn't actually able to replicate his earlier success with the Frankel's horse. He won only one race in the first 8 months.
Damn.
But for some reason, Bill Frankel took an immediate liking to Buddy, and he decided to stick with him. And Buddy later said of the Frankels, they never complained. You don't find good sports like them every day.
Old sport.
Old sport. That's weird that you said that because I made a Gatsby reference in this later.
Of course you did. You have to.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So things started to turn around for Buddy a few years later, and he was ranked second on the list of leading New York trainers in 1960.
Damn.
Just behind his uncle, Gene Jacobs.
Oh.
So you broke away from your uncle, but you haven't beat him yet. But 2 years later, Buddy did surpass Uncle Gene and took the top spot on the 1962 list with 64 wins.
Wow.
But the success really didn't do much to endear Buddy to those around him. Bill Frankel might have liked him, but really nobody else did. His success really only kind of exacerbated that arrogance and overly competitive spirit that people already knew was there. So when he was announced as the top trainer in New York, a reporter asked Buddy what he had learned from his uncle's experiences in the business. And without hesitating, Buddy replied, "They've taught me nothing. They don't come near me at the track. I'm out to beat them and they know it." He literally was just like, fuck them.
Wow.
Just like
a true good sport.
Like, if his uncle hadn't taken him on, he wouldn't have learned anything.
Yeah, he wouldn't have done any of this.
And he's like,
I've
fuck
learned
'em.
nothing. Like, damn.
Like,
all right.
so rude.
Wow.
It's like a classic case of not remembering where you come from.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like erase it all. I did it all. Get out of here.
I'm like, I don't think so, sir. You're not that self-made.
No, buddy.
Now, his comments to reporters only spoke further to his fiercely competitive, petty, and spiteful character. And people remembered Buddy being like that as a child, and they would continue to remember him the same way even after he died.
Oh, no.
But his winning streak did continue, and it came with more and more money. In 1963, he was named America's top horse trainer.
Damn, I didn't even know this was a thing.
I didn't either. But he had nearly twice as many wins to his name as compared to his uncle.
Wow.
Now, not long after, he was living that big life, so he decided to buy 2 apartment buildings in Queens and merge them together to create one massive home for his family. And he hired a live-in maid.
Damn.
Yeah, he was living the big life, I told you.
He sure was.
He's a swanky fellow. The money, the property, and the other extravagances were a testament to his professional success, but they really didn't do much to improve the rift that had started growing between him and his wife, Joan, for quite some time at this
I was
point.
wondering where Joan was in all this.
She's not really in all of this in Buddy's head, at least. Later, Buddy's assistant, Frank Pajano, explained the strain to reporters, saying, well, what happened was she wanted to go out to a movie once in a while, just to a movie, nothing fancy. But Buddy didn't care to. He only loved the horses.
What an ass.
So he wouldn't even take her to a fucking movie.
That's an asshole move.
That's a dick move. You don't need a wife.
No,
you could have kept on living this bachelor life and stacking up the wins.
Marry a horse and you'll be fine. A horse. Yeah.
Sounds like he wasn't even that, like, he didn't, like, care about the horses that much. He just liked winning.
Yeah.
So now he's in his early 30s, and his life is consumed by horses and his continuous drive to be the best. But like I was just saying, for all his interest in horses, They didn't really seem to make him feel anything on a deeper level. It wasn't the animal that he loved. Like I just said, it was the winning and the superiority he held over the horses.
Ew.
He told his assistant, you can't have an attachment to a horse, and indicated that he was disgusted by them in general.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Like disgusted by the animal that made him as wealthy as he was in the first place.
And also, horses are like the sweetest animals.
And they're so majestic. How the fuck don't you like a horse?
You ever look in a horse's eyes?
Not often.
I haven't.
I was like, I don't know where you're going with
I
this.
have not, but I feel like you could get lost in them.
You could.
I do feel that way. I don't have any evidence to back that up because I myself have never looked in a horse's eyes, but it's just this innate feeling inside.
She just pointed to her chest. It's
Yeah.
like this innate
It's
feeling.
just inside. I feel that.
Yeah, I was a little bit afraid of horses for a while.
I'm still afraid of horses.
Yeah, they're so big.
Oh, so big, so powerful,
They
so
can throw
muscly.
you off in a second.
Yeah, there's a lot happening there. I'm terrified of them,
but they're beautiful.
Sure do love to look at them.
My mother-in-law loves horses.
There you go.
And Ma does too, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she used to ride horses.
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 So it seemed to Buddy's assistant, Frank, there, that all Buddy really cared about was the acquisition of things, material things that he could hold up as evidence of his success. And then by extension, at least as far as he was concerned, those things placed his value as a person or like staked his value as a person.
Yeah, that's not a good way to be.
And this is when I said, it's giving Tom Buchanan from The Great Gatsby.
100% it is.
Thank you. But the problem was when it came to Buddy, nothing was ever enough. By the mid-1960s, he had become kind of a celebrity, and he was making more money than he had ever even made, but he was spending it just as fast as it was coming in.
He's one of those stories.
Oh, yeah.
They made it, they lost it.
Yeah. He lost so much.
Oh, no.
His relationship with his wife had all but ended. They continued to stay married on paper, but they were not married in life.
Oh.
Joan managed the home. She cared for their son in Queens.
Of course she did.
While Buddy just started having one affair after the other. He never really dated much before getting married, and I think...
Breaking those generational cycles, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, good job.
And I think the fact that he never dated much before getting married was kind of detrimental in his case, because once he realized that there was women out there that didn't care that he was married, it was like he needed to catch up on what he had missed out on, or like felt like he had missed out on. Author Anthony Hayden Guest wrote, it was as if he'd opened the door with an enchanted key.
That's a beautiful way of saying
I know.
he started fucking women outside of marriage.
It's a beautiful way to say
What a nice way of saying that.
he was a hoe.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, not long ago, he was a hoe.
There you go.
And soon he was married to Joan Jacobson, really in name only. That's about it. He didn't really have a lot of trouble attracting women because, like I said, he had become kind of a celebrity in the wealthy New York circles.
Yeah.
But the women he was dating, not a lot of them stuck around for very long. They were there for like a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
And the ones who did stick around were really only staying as long as they did because he was paying their bills.
Exactly. I was looking at that.
Yeah. Now, either way, the endless stream of young, beautiful women convinced Buddy that he no longer needed Joan. So in the mid to late 1960s, he moved out of their apartment and just never looked back. Again, they were still married, but he just ditched her.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Just like you hated your dad
I
for
was
doing
gonna
that to
say,
you.
again.
But then you did the exact same thing to your, not only your wife, but your son.
Yeah, another cycle. Like you're starting it right over.
Real shitty. Real shitty. Later, after his eventual arrest,
Oh.
a reporter asked him whether he was getting any emotional support from Joan, and he replied, I haven't seen her for 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, fuck that. Why would Joan give him any emotional support? I'd be like, good luck.
Can
fuck
you imagine?
off.
I think that reporter was just like, hey, are you getting any support from the wife you left?
Yeah.
Now, like most things in Buddy's life, which I'm sure you're catching onto a pattern here, Joan was just another one of those things that validated his worth and that he could hold up as evidence of his success. So when she didn't serve either of those purposes anymore, he just left her.
Just cast her aside.
Mm-hmm. And his ability to sever ties with things that didn't serve him was like
Scary.
insane, like scary. And I think it was another hallmark of his life going back as far as childhood. And like most of his other personality traits, it only got worse when he became an adult. Former horse owner Sam Lafrac, said about Buddy, as a personality, he was a loner, and he didn't like anybody telling him what to do.
I mean, yeah. Sounds like it.
You're like, relatable.
I was gonna say I don't want to say relatable because he sounds like a Nimrod, but
he is a Nimrod.
But
But you can relate to being a loner and not liking people telling you what to do.
I can absolutely relate to that.
Yeah,
I don't
me
like
too.
how many similarities we have.
Yeah, I don't
We
like
have many things that are different. Me and Buddy.
You're very different.
So many different things.
I don't like people telling me what to do either. I
Yeah.
wouldn't consider myself a loner though.
Yeah.
I would never consider
You're like,
myself a
fuck that shit.
But by the late 1960s, Buddy had actually been elected president of the New York division of the Horsemen's Benevolent and Protective Association.
Look at this guy.
He's killing it, kind of. And almost immediately, though, because he's not really killing it, his personality put him at odds with the New York Racing Association.
Eek.
Now, this is interesting. The reason he was at odds with them was because he was demanding that a pension fund be established for the stable hands. And when the Racing Association refused, Buddy demanded a boycott. It's very writer's strike.
That is?
And in April of 1969, the union ended up going on strike.
Wow.
So this kind of sounds like it was a good deed on his end, but despite how it might have looked, most people believed that the strike had a lot less to do with him supporting low-wage workers than it actually did with his insatiable need for power.
Absolutely.
And control over literally everything.
Yeah.
Sports writer Pete Ackfelm said, I don't think he cared about Puerto Rican stable hands. I think he wanted to prove that he, Buddy Jacobson, could overturn the whole power structure.
Yeah. That's
His
what it
words,
seems
not
like
mine.
with him.
It does. So eventually the Racing Association did cave and they agreed to the pension fund. And this shows you like what happened and what Buddy's real intentions were. They put Buddy in control of the finances. But unfortunately, his arrogance caught up with him just 9 days after taking over the pension fund.
Wow.
During an audit performed by the Racing Association, the accountants noticed several irregularities and misrepresentations in the books.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah, so they removed Buddy from his post and they suspended him for 45 days. But the blow to his ego was too big, so he just decided to leave racing for good.
Wow.
They tried to suspend him for 45 days for essentially or allegedly stealing money.
That's a baby move.
And he said, I'm going to leave racing for good.
That's a big baby move.
I literally said, Guy is the definition of a petulant child.
Truly. Like, that's such a big baby move. Like, I just won't do it.
Such a baby. This
Yeah.
guy's gross.
Ew.
So now with considerably more free time than he had quite literally ever had, Buddy shifted his focus back to his new interests in women and property. He was spending more and more time at his quote-unquote bachelor apartment in a building in Queens. And one of his short-term girlfriends later remembered the building as being, quote, full of stewardesses, all of whom seemed interested in Buddy. She elaborated, Buddy had a Cadillac. He would leave it out in the front for other girls to use. The place was full of girls. He could never go with the same girl more than once or twice. He lost interest. He would chase some girl, sending her flowers all the time. But if he heard that she was going with somebody else, he just lost interest.
Wow.
So he's just like a playa.
He's just a player.
Now, while things may have been going well for Buddy in his personal life, I guess you could say, his professional life was taking hit after hit because he just got suspended from this racing business and then just decided to
And then
leave it
was like,
altogether.
fuck
It was
it.
just like, fuck it. So in 1970, he made a very random move and just invested rather heavily in a ski resort in Vermont.
That's what you do when you leave your profession, you know?
What? Like, where did that come
Invest
from?
in a ski resort in Vermont.
Obviously.
That's what in my head, I was like, you know, what he really should do next is head to Vermont.
Ski resort.
Yeah.
Boom.
So I'm glad that's how things are
And
going.
you would think that'd be a pretty good investment because, like, Vermont skiing, sure.
I mean, people
resorts
love to
are
ski.
great,
Vermont is snowy. Makes sense.
you know? But, and I'm sure as this is going to come as a huge shock, it didn't take long before his personality started to rub people the wrong way there.
Oh, buddy.
One of the other investors, I'm used to saying investigators, one of the other investors said he wanted to show that he could run a ski lodge better than people who had been running them all their lives.
Oh, see, that's a rookie move. Going in there thinking you can tell people what to do when you haven't been in that business.
That's the worst kind of person when they come into your field and try to tell you how to do your job that you've been doing for the
Years.
longest fucking time. And
Yeah.
they think they can do it better than you.
It goes right up your ass.
Walk the other way.
Walk the other way.
Toxic person, walk the other way. Get on out of here. That's what they said to Buddy. And that's what I would say to somebody too.
That's what I would say.
You know?
I'd say, fuck off.
Fuck off with that. It sucks. So when the resort didn't work out, Buddy shifted his attention back to New York, of course, and he just bought an apartment building on East 84th Street, as one does.
Imagine just being like, I guess I'll just buy a building, I suppose.
I guess since my heavy
didn't work
investments
out.
didn't turn out, I'll buy a whole fucking building in New York. You know. So he took over every role from operations to screening to rental applications in this building.
Wow.
And it was there that he met Melanie Kane. She was a transplant from Virginia who had just moved to New York in 1973, and her goal was to pursue a modeling career with the Eileen Ford modeling agency.
Ooh.
Eileen Ford's husband, Jerry, who kind of sounds like a dick to me, recalled of Kane, she was very pleasant. She was a very pleasant kid, but kind of naive. She had a bit of a weight problem. Good mouth, good teeth.
That was her husband?
That was her husband, Eileen Ford's husband, that said that
Yes.
about Melanie Kane.
Oh, okay.
Not about Eileen.
Okay, for a second, I mean, that's still, what the fuck? But I was like, oh.
Like a bit of
What a way to remember your wife.
Also, a bit of a weight problem. Please look up a picture of Melanie Kane.
Yeah, I just love that. It's like, yeah, she had good teeth.
Yeah, good
Like,
mouth,
sure,
good
why not?
teeth. Like,
good
you're disgusting.
mouth, good teeth.
Like, good mouth? What does that even mean? I gotta go. This part of the show is brought to you by Anua, the Korean skincare brand known for scientific, gentle, yet effective formulations. The latest from Anua is the Retinol Collagen Gua Sha Cream, a firming cream with a gua sha-shaped tip built right in. Have you guys heard of gua sha? It's that viral massage tool that moves fluid and tension out of your face. Less puffiness, a snatched jawline, honey, more definition in your face. Retinol firms and reduces fine lines, and collagen keeps your skin plump and structured. This cream has both of those things, arguably the most optimal combo for that snatched, lifted look all in one step. I am obsessed with the Gua Sha cream. First of all, it feels so cool to the touch. When you put that on your face, it's just like, this is lovely. It's like a little spa treatment that you can give yourself. I like to do mine at night after I get out of the shower. I rub the cream on my face with the little gua sha. I'm sculpting that jawline, honey. I got it on the cheekbones. And actually, I had a facial the other day, and the lady doing my facial, the professional, she said, "Do you use a gua sha at home?" And I said, "I do." And I said, "How did you know that?" And she said, "I didn't have those little like bumps in my chin or like different areas like that." So she could tell that I was using the gua sha. And I said, "Oh my God." I just feel like I wake up less puffy in the morning when I do it the night before. But you can do it whenever you want to. I, 10 out of 10, recommend this product. The Anua Gua Sha Cream value set is available at anua.com, already discounted. Use code MORBID for an extra 10% off. That's ANUA.com, code MORBID. The Sherwin-Williams summer sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off their newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're looking to refresh your interior or your exterior, they've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders. But she was way better than Jerry gave her credit for, because within less than a year at the agency, Melanie's career was taking off. And if you're looking at her right now,
beautiful.
I'm sure you can see why.
Yeah.
In March of 1974, she actually appeared on the cover of 17 magazine,
Oh.
which used to be my personal favorite. And her face was seemingly everywhere after that. A writer from 17 wrote, "Everything about Melanie is refreshing. She's the image of everything wholesome, like Kellogg's cornflakes."
Yeah.
Like,
Not apple pie or anything.
everything wholesome, like Kellogg's cornflakes.
What a way. What a descriptor.
The 70s.
Like,
Imagine
truly.
being compared to cornflakes.
Yeah, that would be strange.
The way that I would feel about that.
I'd be like, I'm not really sure what that means.
Like, is that an insult or?
Because you think like wholesome, like apple pie. That's
Yeah.
always like the initial,
Yeah.
you know? But
And
no.
Though that writer could have gone places with that because she lived in New York, big apple pie.
That's the thing, big apple pie.
Not Kellogg's cornflakes.
Yeah,
I don't
all
know.
right. I guess they are wholesome, I suppose.
I guess. So remember, Melanie meets Buddy at this apartment building. And maybe it was her naivete, But Melanie was almost immediately drawn to Buddy, not something that most people experienced often.
Yeah, apparently.
He was almost 20 years older than she was, and he was nothing like the male models that she had dated when she first arrived in New York. To her, he seemed down to earth. He didn't seem to care too much about his appearance, which I don't really know why that's a good thing. And he had a confidence, she said, she found irresistible.
All right.
Within a few months of Melanie appearing on the cover of 17, Buddy ended up talking her into leaving Eileen Ford and starting a modeling agency with him, who had quite literally never been in the business of modeling or running a modeling agency.
Wow, here he goes again.
But he did it with her.
Yeah.
And they named the modeling agency My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady. Mm-hmm. That kind of limits you, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In like an assortment of ways.
A myriad of ways.
Yeah.
But unlike his career in horse training, where he'd worked his way up from the bottom, Buddy's foray into the modeling industry was a lot more like his experience with the ski resort. It was the product of overconfidence and spiteful determination.
You know, and that's the thing. You can go into things being like,
The way that you just had to like move your drink to the
I had to put my
side.
drink down for this, because you can go into I'm all for having stupid confidence, like
And spiteful determination.
and spiteful determination.
I'm
Because
full of
I
that.
myself am fueled by spiteful determination
Yeah.
and stupid confidence.
I don't
And
have
so,
that, but I do have the spiteful part.
like, I assume I can do anything, and that's the way it is. But you got to go in doing that, being
Yeah.
like, I can do this, but also learning from people who know how to do that.
exactly.
That's the whole point, is you go in and you go, fuck, I can do this. I can learn how to do this. It's not, I can go into this thing I don't know and just suddenly know how to do it.
Like, how does that work?
The whole game here is you take lessons from other people and you
Yeah.
learn and you grow and you say, okay, well, once I have all this information, I can be the best at this.
Exactly.
That's okay. Go in like that, by all means. This clown is going into places where he's never had any experience in
At all.
and he's not going, okay, I can learn from people and I can really do well at this and be the best.
And become the best.
Yeah, he's just going in being like, no, I know how to do it better. And it's like,
Yeah, he's going in thinking he's the best, not wanting to become the best.
exactly,
And
you
that's
always,
the difference.
Exactly. You have to have the drive to be the best. That's what it is. And he
Precisely.
doesn't have the drive. He has the expectation. And there's a difference.
Boom.
So have the drive, not the expectation.
He had no idea what he was doing.
No.
One model author told Anthony Hayden Guest of her experience with My Fair Lady. They wanted young, fresh faces. They told me they just threw a dart at the map and where it went. One model told author Anthony Hayden Guest of her experiences with My Fair Lady. They wanted young, fresh faces. They told me they just threw a dart at the map and went where it landed. But Buddy wasn't really doing anything for us.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Like, they just had a magazine full of ladies, or like a assortment of photos on the wall. They threw a dart and said,
Well,
yeah, that
let's
one
go
will
there.
do. Ridiculous. So the fact that My Fair Lady honestly managed to survive at all was due almost entirely to Melanie Kane, who was still enough of a draw to keep the business afloat because people wanted her pictures.
Hell yeah.
Now, while she did her best to keep the agency going, Buddy kind of abandoned the entire thing and just switched his attention back to property development.
Seems to be what he's good at.
That's the-
Abandoning, I mean.
Honestly, and he seems like he's all right at property development.
there you
Like,
go.
You know, I don't know.
I don't know.
He seems fit for that. So in the mid-1970s, he purchased the Park East, a former hospital near New York's Upper West Side, and he planned to develop it into a $3 million co-op.
Damn.
I don't really know how that went because things go awry. So their relationship may have started as a business matter, but it didn't take long before Melanie and Buddy were involved romantically. I'm sure you saw that coming. But unfortunately, as he had already proven with his marriage, women were just another thing for Buddy to collect. And just like things had unfolded with his wife, the first few years of Melanie and Buddy's relationship were good, but after a while, he became very controlling and very overbearing. Before long, Melanie was forbidden from having any male friends at all.
No.
And Buddy controlled, or at the very least, heavily influenced how she spent her time when she was away from him.
Oh, no.
Like, he had control over
That's
everything.
bad. Bad news bears.
Now, he, on the other hand, had no interest in restraining his relationships with
course
other
not.
women. An acquaintance said, it's tremendous, the power he felt. He's sitting in Nicola's with 4 girls, 9 girls, 13 girls.
And he's telling her you can't have male friends.
A single male friend, but I can sit at a table with 13 women.
It's so hard. I feel so bad because, like, obviously she was in a position where she just didn't see it.
And she's young, and he's this older, like,
They're
what she
business
thinks is
partners
charming
now,
man.
like-
They're business partners, and she's probably signed to some kind of contract at
And
this
it's easy
point.
to see in hindsight how red flaggy he is, but it's not easy when you're in it.
Exactly. Now, so within just a few years of moving to New York to start her life, the things that had been so exciting for Melanie started to feel like a burden. After a few years, her relationship with Buddy was deteriorating rapidly. And despite her success, modeling just wasn't really filling her cup anymore. But still, when she walked into the All Ireland bar in the late 1970s, Melanie wasn't planning to make any major life changes. And then she met Jack Tupper.
Oh.
So Melanie actually had met Jack a couple times before, the year before, when an acquaintance of Buddy's had brought him to a party at Queens, but she didn't really get to know him like that well.
Okay.
Now, Jack had grown up in New York, and a few years earlier, he had moved into a building that Buddy owned in Queens near the All Ireland, which Jack was managing at the time.
Okay.
As far as Melanie could tell, Jack was everything that Buddy was not. He was in good shape, he dressed nicely, he was friendly, he was charming. When he wasn't running the All Ireland, he volunteered at a sports program for underprivileged youth in Queens.
Stop.
Yep, he was a prize.
He sounds delightful.
Jack's dad later told reporters there was no disgrace on him. He was a wonderful boy, a good boy.
Aw. Jack.
Jack forever.
Oh, no.
It's like the Titanic. And Melanie and Jack's relationship, it started innocently enough. They made plans to go jogging together in the park. She just wanted a friend. But things changed pretty quickly after just a few days as jogging partners when Melanie admitted that she had a crush on Jack.
I mean, who wouldn't? He sounds delightful.
He's adorable and he's a great guy. He's a good catch.
Yeah.
So eventually dates to go jogging started to include dinner afterwards and just little reasons to stay and hang out longer than they needed to.
Oh my God. I'm like, cut that other asshole loose. Like,
Snip.
enjoy this.
Clip.
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 Buddy.
Remember when we went to Dorinda's house?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was wild.
But Melanie, she still wasn't ready to end her relationship with Buddy. A friend of hers said, apparently she'd been contemplating breaking up with Buddy, but it was hard. She'd been with him 5 years, and they
That
were
is
in
a long
business
time.
together.
That's hard.
5 years is a long time.
It is. It's easy to say from, over here to be like, cut a blue, Sonny. And then I'm like, I stayed in a relationship far past its fucking expiration date.
And imagine if you had been...
by the time I got out of there.
Oh, God, it was further than rotten. It was
growing penicillin. It was so moldy.
It was bad. And then imagine being in business with that person and trying to
No.
leave them.
I don't want to think of that.
That's not good.
Yeah, no, it's hard.
So instead, Melanie and Jack carried on in secret, hoping that Buddy would never question why their jogging dates kept getting longer and longer and more frequent.
But it's like, you want to be together, guys. You can't be together like this.
Exactly. Well, for a while it worked. Buddy was so self-absorbed that he didn't actually seem to notice when Melanie wasn't around.
Beneficial in that way.
Yeah. And so he didn't notice when she wasn't around as often as she typically had been. So soon these dates weren't just a few hours longer, but a few days longer.
Ooh.
And within weeks of making plans to go jogging for the very first time, Jack took Melanie on a weekend trip to visit his sister and her husband, who was an FBI agent stationed in Puerto Rico.
Damn.
So they just went to Puerto Rico for the weekend.
Whoa, look at these two.
I know. I love them.
I know.
I'm rooting for it. I know that some might say it's wrong, but I'm rooting for it.
Some might say it's wrong, but it's right.
It's right.
No, you just know this seems like it would be a better situation. You just want it to, I want it to work out.
Yeah, and it's complex. It's many layers, you know?
It is.
So Buddy might not have noticed a few extra hours of Melanie's absence, but a long weekend away was something entirely different.
Yeah.
So when Melanie didn't return on Friday night and was still absent the next morning, Buddy knew that she was with Jack. Yeah. He called Melanie's mom, who confirmed that she went away for the weekend, but wouldn't give Buddy any more information than that.
Like a good mama.
Mm-hmm. So Buddy then proceeded to call literally everyone he could think of that might have the number for Jack's sister in Puerto Rico, which is where he correctly assumed the two had gone.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So when Jack and Melanie got back from Puerto Rico, they hadn't even left the airport before they learned that Buddy had been harassing their friends and family all weekend long.
Eek.
Yeah. They were terrified of the consequences of having been found out, so they booked a $90 suite at the Drake, which is an upscale hotel on Park Ave.
Damn.
They were like, we cannot go back yet.
We cannot do that.
Now, when Melanie finally did call Buddy the next day, she was surprised to find that rather than anger, he seemed apologetic, genuinely, and seemed like he wanted to talk. Melanie told Anthony Hayden Guest, I realized I owed him something, yet all this time I had wanted to talk to him, and he had never had the time. But now I figured, okay, let's settle up this whole business.
Feels suspicious to me.
It does. So the next night, Melanie ended up meeting Buddy for a drink at Sign of the Dove, which was one of his favorite restaurants in Queens. And the apologetic, appeasing tone that he had just a day earlier was gone. He was back to his old, very offensive self.
Yeah.
He was accusing Melanie of being on drugs because that was the only excuse he could think of for her not returning home to him. Yeah.
I could think of a few more.
I could too, such as he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Now, when it was clear that his attempts to bait her were not working, he came right out and said, "You can't leave me. You're my wife."
She's not, though.
She was not, in fact, his wife.
I was like, Dave, unless I missed a giant portion of this story, that is not true. Incorrect.
Not true. So Melanie pushed back, telling Buddy that they weren't married, which is when Buddy's voice took on a more desperate tone. He told her, I'm going to get you back no matter what. I'll beg for you or I'll wait for you. I don't care. But no matter what, I'm going to get you back.
That's terrifying and horrifying. And I want to take her hand and just run away with her.
Far, far away.
Stay.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70.
Need a boost? Sometimes all it takes is tapping into your inner cool. Icebreaker's gum helps you unleash the confidence within. Each chew releases a rush of icy flavor powered by cooling flavor crystals, sending a wave of refreshment to reinvigorate all your senses. Icebreaker's convenient pack fits everywhere, from car cup holders to backpack pockets, so you can find your cool wherever you go. Grab Icebreaker's gum online or at a store near you.
Well, then he turned to Jack, who was actually in the restaurant monitoring the conversation from his seat at the bar. And he looked at Jack and he said, "You want a restaurant? I'll buy you a restaurant. Just give me Melanie back for 24 hours.
What the fuck?
24 hours?
I'd immediately be like, we are leaving the country.
Right?
Like, we are leaving, and holy shit.
Insane.
That's terrifying. Like, 24 hours? What the fuck does that mean?
Exactly.
My guy.
It's so bizarre.
Ew.
So Jack told Buddy that it wasn't his decision to make. It was Melanie's.
See, look at Jack.
A stand-up
being like,
guy.
she's her own woman.
Yeah.
She makes her own decisions. I'm not saying anything.
Exactly. And then he and Melanie got up to leave. And before walking out of the restaurant, Melanie looked at Buddy and said, "Let's be friends, Buddy. I'll always be your friend."
Oh, and look at Melanie trying to be civil.
De-escalate.
Yeah, she's trying to de-escalate. She's doing all the right things.
So a few days later, Melanie had moved her things out of Buddy's apartment. And in a move almost identical to the one that Buddy's father had made 40 years earlier,
Eek.
Melanie and Jack took an apartment a few doors down from Buddy
Oh, come on.
in his Queen's apartment building.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So away from Buddy, new opportunities did seem possible for Melanie. And most importantly, she was finally with a man that appreciated her. She talked about her relationship with Jack years later and said it was a very loving relationship. We were going to spend a loving life together.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
Right? So meanwhile, Buddy seemed to alternate between continuing to pursue Melanie and accepting that their relationship had come to an end. In the weeks that followed, he would spend days calling and harassing her and then sending messages apologizing for the verbal abuse.
Ooh, that's scary.
On July 29th, he wrote to her, "Dear Melon, sorry for the past week and for the abuse I've put you through for the past 5 years. You always hurt the one you love. Jack is a good guy and will love you and be honest with you. You're right. I would always be a bum."
I mean, that seems,
That seems
legit.
self-aware.
That really seems self-aware.
But then he kept trying to buy off Jack Tupper with offers of cash and property.
Jesus.
Jack told Melanie one afternoon, "This guy's such an asshole. He offered me $100,000 to leave town and to buy a restaurant."
What the fuck?
Like, what? So by midsummer, Buddy's erratic behavior and constant presence in the shared spaces of the building had become a little too much for Melanie and Jack to bear, and they decided it was time to find a new apartment far, far away from Buddy. So Melanie spent the first week of August 1978 looking at apartments, and eventually she found what she thought was the perfect one for them on 52nd Street.
There you go.
Now, in the days leading up to the signing of the new lease, Buddy's pleas for Melanie to come back to him grew way more desperate and way more unrealistic. On July 31st, he confronted her in the hallway of the apartment, and he made yet another attempt to get her back. He yelled to her, "Can't you see what your leaving is doing to me?" And then he made this outrageous promise to marry her and start a family, yelling to her, "I will get you pregnant so fast. We will have 6 kids. 6 kids. Isn't that proof?"
I have very little to say about that.
I just said, insert gif of the what lady here.
That's honestly how I feel, right? Like, I can't imagine somebody trying to get you back and being like, "I will get you pregnant so fast. So fast."
We'll
and
have
it's like,
6 kids.
that's what?
like sweetheart,
that,
6 kids?
that's vaguely threatening. Like,
6
I don't,
kids?
yeah, that's just a lot.
right away?
And to be like, "I'll do it so fast. I will get you pregnant." And it's like, what?
What?
Okay.
What?
You make that sound scary, and I don't want to do that.
And I'm sorry, but like 6 kids all at once is not a good bargaining tool.
No.
I'd be like, that's a good way to not get me back.
Yeah, I'm like, damn. All right.
Wild.
What a bargaining chip he was using. I mean, I guess throw all your cards on the table. That's what you got.
He's scary. So the more she resisted and politely rejected him, the more and more rambling and incoherent Buddy's attempts to bargain got, clearly. Melanie kept trying to politely rebuff him, like trying to spare his feelings, but at this point she broke and she shouted to him, "I don't love you anymore, and not only don't I love you anymore, I don't even like you. I don't like the way you lie and treat people. I just don't respect you anymore."
Ooh.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
But
Because it's all true.
it is.
She's
She's like,
just telling him.
"I don't like who you are as a person. You're terrible."
And I think you need to hear, like, instead of yelling at me that you can get me pregnant at warp speed, like, you need to hear that I don't like you.
I don't like
I
you,
don't
and
want to be pregnant with you.
And
like,
I don't
that
want to
is-
be near you
I
even.
don't want this.
So this statement, this blunt statement, did not seem to register with Buddy, and he just kept rambling and rambling and making outrageous declarations of love until Melanie finally just walked away, more certain than ever that the only way to move on would be to get as far away from Buddy as humanly possible.
That's what it seems.
So later, when she went to get the last of her belongings from Buddy, she learned the true depth of his depression and his desperation to get her back.
Uh-oh.
He had cut out stickers with masking tape and written declarations of love on them, and then stuck all of them to all of her clothing and personal items. She said, "I would look at my underpants and there would be a sticker. I love you, Melanie. Then I'd open my desk and there would be more stickers."
Oh, this is like really scary.
It's really escalating.
He's lost it.
So on the morning of August 6th, Melanie got up early, kissed Jack goodbye, and headed over to the new apartment where she planned to meet the new landlord and sign the lease. So thinking nothing really of it, she went downstairs and she talked to some of the models in an apartment on the first floor. But when she came back up a short time later, Jack still hadn't returned. And she was like, okay, that's kind of weird. But she tried to busy herself with some chores. She ran some errands. But the longer Jack was away, the more concerned she became. There wasn't really any evidence of anything bad having happened in their apartment, But the more she looked around, the more she noticed things seemed a little off. Jack wasn't home, but his boots and his running shoes were still on the floor in the bedroom. His address book and his gold pen, which he took with him almost everywhere, was also still on the table. And that just was weird to her. So she started calling around to Jack's friends, but none of them had seen or heard from him that day. So she's getting more and more concerned now. So she walks down to the All Ireland, the bar that he manages, and no one there had seen or heard from him either.
Oh, no.
So now she's desperate, and she walks back up to the apartment building and to Buddy's apartment, and she goes in without even knocking. And inside Buddy's apartment was a fucking wreck. There were shattered pieces of mirror all over the floor. The pillows from the bed and the sofa were strewn all about. And most curious, the rug appeared to have been pulled up and removed.
Oh, no.
And there were people just milling about the apartment who Melanie assumed were just some workers from Buddy's buildings on the Upper West Side. And then Buddy himself appeared in the doorway and screamed, "Get out! I don't want to see you!"
What?
Nearly chasing Melanie from the apartment and slamming the door.
What the fuck?
So, like, after he's been desperately trying to get back with her, he's like, "Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to see you."
All he wants is to see her and be near her. And now he's like, get out.
Yeah.
No, this would
So
terrify
bizarre.
me.
So Melanie's shaken. So she calls one of Jack's friends and is like, "Can you come over and just help me try to find Jack?" And now the man arrived and they went back to Buddy's apartment once he got there and they knocked on the door. And this time, Buddy was completely collected and just said, "Oh yeah, I haven't seen Jack."
What the fuck?
He let them in. He let them look around the apartment. And now there didn't seem to be any outward signs of a struggle or a fight. But it was clear that someone had gone to great lengths to clean the apartment. And it even looked like somebody had washed the tile floor in the hallway of the apartment building.
What?
So out of ideas and now thoroughly alarmed, Melanie finally called the police a little after 8 p.m. that night. And an officer was dispatched to the apartment. Now, unbeknownst to Melanie, a few hours earlier, around 4 p.m., somebody went into a fire department in North Bronx to report a fire in the vacant lot across the street. The person that reported the fire said they saw 3 men setting what appeared to be a large wooden crate on fire. And then they drove away in a large yellow Cadillac with the license plate number 777GHI.
Okay.
So firefighters go to that scene and they find this oily black smoke pouring from what they described as, quote, "a trunk on a heap of garbage surrounded by a mound of garbage."
Oh, no.
Now, before they had even put the fire out, they could see a man's legs protruding from the crate. And after extinguishing the fire, they pried open the hinges on the box and they discovered the badly brutalized body of Jack Tupper.
No.
A firefighter later told reporters the head was all matted, but you could see the bullet holes.
Oh, my God.
When you find out what happened to Jack Tupper, Buddy is not even a human. He is...
Oh, no.
He's worse than a monster. I don't even know the
really?
word to describe what he is,
Oh, God.
but he got his. Because firefighters reported the discovery to the nearest police precinct, and the information went out on the radio, including the license plate number that had been provided by the resident who initially reported the fire.
Thank God that person thought of it.
Now listen
Remembered it.
to this. The universe is a beautiful bitch. So at the same time, Buddy Jacobson was stuck in a traffic jam on the Triborough Bridge, and it just so happened that there was a patrol car directly behind him.
Oh, shut up.
Yup. So when the
I love
driver
it.
of the patrol car heard the report of the body come over the radio, he happened to glance down at the license plate of the yellow Cadillac in front of
Oh,
him.
my God. I love it.
And to his astonishment, he realized it was a match for the suspects that set the fire to the crate containing the body.
Imagine being that patrol officer and
Just-
being like, jackpot.
How serendipitous.
The universe, girl.
So Buddy Jacobson was immediately arrested and became the #1 suspect in the murder of Jack Tupper.
Oh, man.
And that,
Poor Jack.
I know, is where we're going to end part 1.
Oh.
But we're going to cover a good amount in part 2. Things get a little crazy. Some people go to prison. Some people escape from prison.
Oh.
Some people get thrown back in prison.
Damn.
It's wild.
All right, I'm here.
You here for it?
I'm here for it.
But it's really also very sad when you hear
Poor
what happened
Jack and
to
poor
Jack
Melanie.
and poor Melanie.
Ugh.
Because all she wanted to do was just spend the rest of her life with him.
Yeah, she just wanted to start her life with a good guy.
And he like his dad said, he was like a
He's a good
wonderful
guy.
boy, a
A
good
wonderful
boy.
boy.
Just like
Oh,
volunteering with underprivileged youth.
break my hat.
And then there's Buddy, who's just been an asshole literally since he came out the womb.
With a terrible mustache that you can't trust.
His mustache
You can't trust it.
is one of the most upsetting things I have ever seen in my life.
Fuck that mustache.
And did you see a picture of Jack?
Yeah, he's adorable.
He's adorable and has the kindest eyes that I've ever seen.
Ugh.
So we hope that you keep listening for part 2.
And we hope you
Keep
it
weird. But not so weird as Buddy because he, like I said, was an asshole since he came out of the womb, and you really don't want to keep it that weird. It's fine to be competitive, but don't be as competitive as Buddy, and definitely don't stick stickers all over somebody's things when they're trying to move out of your place.
have drive, don't have expectation.
Boom!
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
We don't just alert, we stop crime before it starts. Simply Safe, plans starting around $1 a day. Save 50% on your new system with professional monitoring at simplysafe.com/SXM or with promo code SXM.
Outdoor deterrence requires a Simply Safe Active Guard outdoor protection plan starting at $49.99 a month. Visit simplysafe.com/licenses for alarm license information. Tennessee 2012.
Talk about regrets. We all know someone who's been in a car accident and said, I don't need to call a lawyer, only to regret it after their pain and damages were worse than expected. When someone hurts you, you deserve to be compensated fairly. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm, fighting for the people for over 35 years. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast. Their fee is free unless they win.